RVBN, the Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, top 10 list of everything and anything, great personality profiles, sports video blogs, professional wrestling video blogs, MBTA video blogs, entertainment video blogs, and more. A collection of my greatest work is on Facebook and YouTube, RVBN. Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Friday, November 4th, 2016, around 8:19 in the evening, Billerica, Massachusetts. It's dark out. Going to go down to the 30s tomorrow. The last day of daylight savings time, going to be average 54 degrees. Quiet week ahead for weather-wise. No significant rain, but could reach 60 on Tuesday for election day. Go out and vote. I did early voting already. And a little spoiler, I did not vote for Clinton or Trump. And I'm not going to tell you who I voted for President of the United States. It's a write-in candidate. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. The Ottawa Senators have announced they have abandoned plans to play an outdoor game at Parliament Hill, which is the capital of Canada, in Ottawa, because of a logistic nightmare. And TNT sideline reporter Craig Sager says every year since 1981 he's betted on the Cubs to win the World Series. And this year he's going to get $6,000 for it because they won the World Series. And Craig Sager has been basically bedridden since his third bone marrow transplant. So Sager strong. Hopefully one of these days he's strong enough to be back on the NBA sideline for TNT. And many of the Chicago Cubs players are going to be on Saturday Night Live this Saturday. And that's about it on news from the RVBN Newswire. Be back in a flash. I'm back. My third and final video blog subject of the night is the top 10 of the greatest news anchor / host of all time on a national basis. This is a very awesome list. Some big names have been left off because it's the best of the best of the best. And here they are. Number 10 on this list of the greatest national male TV news anchor / host of a newscast or a news program of all time, Lester Hoyt, who's currently the main anchor for the NBC Nightly News. He's been doing that since 2015. Before, he was the weekend host of the Today Show and hosted Dateline NBC. He was actually a local news host for Channel 2 in New York City. And he's awesome, and he's doing a great job for the NBC Nightly News. Number 9 on this list of the greatest news anchors of all time who was male on a TV national news or like news program, David Brinkley, who hosted the NBC Nightly News for many years and eventually hosted This Week with David Brinkley on ABC, news affairs program, for about 16 years. He was one of the best. Number 8 on this list of the greatest news anchors, male of all time for a national news program or a news cast, Wolf Blitzer, who's been with CNN for many years, hosting Late Edition and Wolf Blitzer Live. He is an awesome host of that program, one of the iconic CNN anchors. Number 7 on this list of the top 10 greatest national male TV news anchors or host of all time, Bernard Shaw, who was one of the original anchors of CNN. He was on CNN for many years, hosting like news programs and breaking news segments. Number 6 on this list of the top 10 greatest national male TV news anchor / host of all time, Bill O'Reilly, who is currently the host of the O'Reilly Factor on Fox News Channel, one of the most highly rated news programs on cable television, has over millions and millions of viewers each day. Bill O'Reilly is very great hosting it. He gets to the point. He has a spin factor. He always looks out for you, and he's hosted radio shows and written many books. Number 5 on this list of the greatest male TV news anchors / host of all time, Ted Koppel. Ted Koppel was the host of ABC News Nightline for over 25 years. From time to time, he substituted as host of ABC World News Tonight. He was with ABC for over 40 years. First starting out as a White House correspondent and eventually becoming the host of Nightline. Number 4 on this list of the greatest national male TV host and anchors of a news program or newscast, Dan Rather, who was the host of the CBS Evening News for over 20 years. He took over for Walter Cronkite in 1981 and held it down for many years. Very great reporter / anchor. Number 3 on this list of the top 10 greatest national male TV news anchors / host of all time, Peter Jennings, who had a long and illustrious career at ABC. He hosted ABC News back in the 60s when it was only 15 minutes and expanded to a half hour. Then he went to correspondent in London, and he was the host of ABC World News Tonight from the London Bureau in 1978. Then he became solo anchor in the early 80s, and for like the next 20 years, he was the lead ABC newsman, hosting reports all over the place. He passed away of lung cancer in 2005. Number 2 on this list of the greatest national male TV news anchors / host of all time, Tom Brokaw, who was the anchor of the NBC Nightly News for over 20 years. He started out as one of the hosts of the Today Show. He retired in 2004 from the Nightly News, and he went on to produce a lot of news documentaries for NBC. He's battling. He is a cancer survivor, and he still appears on NBC from time to time. But number 1 on this list of the best and greatest TV male news anchors of all time, the most trusted man in the United States. At one time, he was voted the most trusted man in America, Walter Cronkite. Walter Cronkite worked for CBS for many years. He was the anchor of the CBS Evening News for 18 years, and he went on the air on November 22nd, 1963, to announce to America that John F. Kennedy, the 35th President of the United States, was shot and he passed away in Dallas, Texas. And like Walter Cronkite was wearing his glasses when he was doing that announcement. Then he took off his glasses, and there was a little bit of a tear coming down his eyes. He probably was sad that the president passed away. But afterwards, he went back to the business at hand, which that was pretty amazing how he did that without, crying on the air. He retired in 1981, and he passed away 2009, and today would have been Walter Cronkite's 100th birthday. That's about it on that. I'll be back tomorrow. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. 3 more video blogs coming for you. First video blog will be my personality profile. Will be about Pro Basketball Hall of Famer Rick Barry. Second video blog will be about 68 Sports Night. We'll have the history of that. That was on WABU Channel 68 in Boston for about 2.5 years in the late 1990s. And the third and final video blog of the night will be the top 10 famous men named Jack or Jackie. And you don't know Jack. And I remember one time Jesse the Body Ventura used to call every guy by the name of Jack in interviews he did with wrestling announcers. And keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Button guy. I was mentioned again on Julie Button's Facebook chats during the commercial breaks of the 7 on News 6 in Orlando, Florida. Julie is one talented and amazing lady. Hopefully one of these days she could go national. I would love to see on Fox News Channel. Julie Broughton has the best legs in Orlando, Florida. Molly Roseblood of WCCO Roxanne has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart, so stunning, she's the best. Amy Squeezy's awesome Amy. Linda Church of WPIX Channel 11 New York, such a rocking cougar's got the best legs in New York City. And Barbara Gibbs of ABC 11 has a sweet southern accent. And here in the words of the late great Joko's wild host Jack Barry, Joker. Good night. See you tomorrow.